Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Nahmaduhu wa nasalli ala rasulihil kareem. Dear students, we are going to start on next topics. Etching, salts, types of salts, methods of making salts, and uses of salts. Our first topic is etching. Etching is an art that uses acid to carve patterns into metal, glass, and other materials. For this, a piece of metal or glass is covered with the wax, and then a design is etched onto the plate through wax. This one is not TOO, this one is TO. This mistake. The plate is then dipped into a tank of acid. The acid eats away the exposed portion, which leaves behind textured mark. The plate is then taken out of the acid and cleaned. Ink can also be applied on etching to create colorful design. बेसिकली होता कुछ यूं है कि किसी मेटल या ग्लास पर कोई डिज़ाइन बनाने के लिए एच करने के लिए कोई पिक्चर बनाने के लिए क्या किया जाता है कि पहले उस मेटल या ग्लास को टोटली वैक्स से कवर किया जाता है, यानी मोम से उसको कवर किया जाता है। उसके बाद उसी मोम के ऊपर वो पैटर्न, वो पिक्चर बना दिया जाता है। यानी अब ये पीस ऑफ मेटल टोटली कवर्ड विद वैक्स है, एक्सेप्ट वो जगह जहां पर आप लोगों ने वो पैटर्न बनाया है। यानी सिर्फ वही जगह एक्सपोज्ड है जहां जहां आप लोगों ने वो कोई पिक्चर या कोई पैटर्न बनाया है जो डिजाइन आप बनाना चाहते हैं। फिर उसके बाद इस मेटल को जो कि वैक्स से कवर्ड है, इसको एसिड में डिप करते हैं। एसिड जो है सिर्फ एक्सपोज्ड पार्ट, यानी सिर्फ उस पैटर्न को ईट्स अवे, यानी खा जाता है, कोरोड कर लेता है, या मेटल के साथ रिएक्ट करके सिर्फ वही जगह आप कह सकते हैं खुरदरी हो जाती है या डीपन्स हो जाती है, और बाकी जो सरफेस है वो सेफ रहता है बिकॉज ऑफ वैक्स। वैक्स अक्सर ऐसे होते हैं जो एसिड के साथ रिएक्ट नहीं करते। सो एसिड जो है सिर्फ मेटल के उन जगहों, एक्सपोज्ड जगहों तक पहुंच जाता है जहां पर आपने वो पैटर्न ड्रॉ किया होता है। उसके बाद आप उस टैंक ऑफ एसिड से उस मेटल के प्लेट को बाहर निकाल लेते हैं, वैक्स को रिमूव कर लेते हैं, और जो एसिड ईटिंग अवे की वजह से, एसिड के कोरोजन की वजह से वो पैटर्न, वो डिज़ाइन, वो पिक्चर उस मेटल के ऊपर ड्रा हो जाती है। आप इंक भी अप्लाई कर सकते हैं और मुख्तलिफ डिज़ाइन आप बना सकते हैं इस तरीके से। फिर भी समझना है तो यूट्यूब पर जस्ट एचिंग सर्च करें, तो उसमें काफ़ी सारी वीडियोस हैं, आपको इजीली समझ आ जाएगी। Next topic is salt. Salt. An acid contains replaceable hydrogen atoms. When these are completely or partially replaced by metal atoms, a compound called salt is formed. Acid में basically replaceable hydrogen atom होता है। HCl is an acid, hydrochloric acid. It has a replaceable hydrogen atom. When this replaceable hydrogen atom is replaced or removed by sodium or any other metal, a new species called salt is formed. Let's say hydrogen, replaceable hydrogen in this acid has been replaced by Na metal, and this new species form is known as sodium chloride, which is a salt. In chemistry, salts are ionic compounds that result from the neutralization reaction of acid and a base. NH3 is a base, ammonia, and HCl is an acid. So neutralization reaction takes place and salt is formed. Neutralization reaction is the reaction between acid and base. Similarly, another examples of neutralization reaction are HCl plus NaOH forms NaCl and water. HCl is an acid, NaOH is a base. Both react together to form salt and water. This reaction is known as neutralization reaction. Neutralization reaction generally is the reaction between H positive ions of an acid and OH negative ions of base, like H positive ion of HCl and OH negative ions of this base, NaOH. So H positive plus OH negative forms water, H2O. This is basically neutralization reaction in which H positive of an acid and OH negative of a base react together to form water, and another species form is known as salt. Some acids and their salts. Hydrochloric acid. The name of salt will be chloride, like sodium chloride, potassium chloride, calcium chloride, etc. Nitric acid, HNO3. The name of salt will be nitrate, sodium nitrate, calcium nitrate, potassium nitrate, etc. And same is the case with sulfuric acid. The salt name will be sulfate, like sodium sulfate, potassium sulfate, and calcium sulfate. Similarly, phosphoric acid forms salt. The name of this salt will be phosphate, like sodium phosphate and potassium phosphate. Okay, now we will balance neutralization reaction. Uh, in your book, example 10.4, the first question is carbonic acid plus sodium hydroxide form sodium carbonate and water. You have to balance this equation, this reaction. For example, H2CO3 plus NOH tends to form Na2CO3 and water. You should know in previous slides that in neutralization reaction, one H positive reacts with one OH negative to form water. In the above reaction, there are two H positive and one OH negative ion. So one H will react with one OH, and we need another OH negative to react with this another H positive ion. In other words, carbonic acid has two protons, two H positive ions, whereas sodium hydroxide has only one OH negative ion. So we will put 2 here in order to balance this reaction. Like one OH reacts with another, one H positive reacts with OH negative, and another H positive will react with another OH negative. Like 2H positive needs 2 OH negative. So two water molecules will be formed because of reacting two H positive molecules with two OH negative molecules. Another example of neutralization reaction, nitric acid plus barium hydroxide tends to form barium nitrate and water. The chemical formulas of nitric acid is NHNO3, barium hydroxide is barium BaOH whole twice, barium nitrate is BaNO3 whole twice, and water is H2O. So you have to balance this equation. Remember, here H positive is only one and there are two OH negatives. So we need two H positive ions. So just simply in the very first step, put 2 moles of HNO3 or 2 in at the base, at the exponent of HNO3. 1H tends to react with 1 OH negative, and 2H positive will react with 2 OH negative to form 2 moles of 2 molecules of water, 2H2O. There are a few types of salts. The first one is normal salts. Normal salts are formed when all the replaceable hydrogen ions in the acid have been completely replaced by metal ions. Like HCl has one H positive, so this metal atom of the base will completely replace all the hydrogen, like one in this case, to form NaCl and water. Similarly, H2SO4 has two hydrogens, two protons. So zinc is a metal of the base. This metal will replace all the hydrogen atoms from the sulfate, from this acid, and ZnSO4 will be formed. Such salts are known as normal salts, in which metal atoms replace all the hydrogen atoms of an acid to form salt and water. Normal salts are neutral to litmus paper, which means that they show no color change when litmus paper is dipped into the solution of normal salts. Second one is acidic salt or acid salts. Acid salts are formed when replaceable hydrogen ions in acid are only partially replaced by metal. Acid salts are produced only by acids containing more than one replaceable hydrogen ion. Therefore, an acid with two replaceable ions like H2SO4 will form only one acid salt, while acid with three replaceable hydrogen ions, for example H3PO4, will form two different acid salts like KOH. This metal of the base potassium hydroxide will partially replace hydrogen atoms or protons or hydrogen ions from sulfuric acid, and KHSO4 will be formed. This salt is known as acidic salt because it has some hydrogens, like some acidic character, simple as that. Similarly, NaOH, Na of this base replace only few hydrogens or one hydrogen from H3PO4, and as a result two hydrogen atoms left in this salt, and such salt is also known as acidic salt, NaH2PO4. Similarly, uh, if concentration of NaOH is increased, i.e. 2 moles of NaOH is used for 1 mole of H3PO4, then 2 sodium atom will replace 2 hydrogen atoms from H3PO4, and resulting salt will also be an acidic salt because of having 1 hydrogen atom in the chemical formula of this salt. An acid salt will turn blue litmus paper red. In the presence of excess metallic ions, an acid salt will be converted into normal salt as its replaceable hydrogen ions become replaced. Like if you react the aqueous solution of this acidic salt with KOH, this acidic salt will be converted into neutral or normal salts. Another one is basic salts. Basic salts contain the hydrogen and the hydroxide ions OH negative. They are formed when there is insufficient supply of acid for the complete neutralization of the base. A basic salt will turn red litmus blue and will react with excess acid to form normal salt like HCl. They are formed when there is insufficient supply of acid. When you add insufficient amount of HCl to the zinc hydroxide, such OH will remain in the salt in the product ZnOHCl. Such salt is known as basic salt because of having OH in the chemical formula of the product. Similarly, magnesium hydroxide when react with HNO3, a salt having OH negative ion will be formed, and this salt will have basic character, and this salt is known as basic salt. This basic salt can be converted into neutral salt by reacting again and again with HCl. Similarly, magnesium hydroxide nitrate, this basic salt can be transformed into neutral magnesium nitrate salt by reacting it with more HNO3. Okay, there are few methods of making salts, like when acid react with base, salt and water is formed. For example, HCl reacts with NaOH to form NaCl and water. Acid when reacts with metal oxide, they form salt and water. For example, H2SO4 is an acid, CO is metal oxide, they form CuSO4 and water. Acid when reacts with metal to form salt and hydrogen. For example, HCl when reacts with sodium to form sodium chloride and hydrogen gas is evolved. Acid when reacts with metal carbonate, they form salt plus water plus carbon dioxide. For example, HCl when react with calcium carbonate, they form CaCl2 calcium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide. The last method of making salt is salt when react with salt, they form another salt and salt. For example, silver nitrate, when react with sodium chloride, they form silver chloride and sodium nitrate. Okay, there are a few uses of salts, like sodium chloride is used as table salt and to preserve meat and vegetables. Sodium chloride is electrolyzed to obtain sodium and chlorine in the industry. We have learned in detail in the 9th class. Ammonium nitrate and ammonium sulfate are used as plant fertilizer. Magnesium sulfate, commonly called Epsom salt, is used as a bath salt. There are another many examples of use of salts, but here I have discussed only few. You can write only 3 or 4 in your short question when if it comes in the federal board examination. Okay, self-assessment 10.5 and 10.7 are your homework. Allah Hafiz. Thank you so much.